And welcome everyone to a Maui Invitational chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Eric Bovaird, head coach of Chaminade. Quick reminder that every other year now, Chaminade is in the Maui Invitational as the host. And I know, Eric, you were there last year as a spectator. Now you're back in coaching. How antsy do you get in that year in between when you're not in it, waiting for this year to come when you know you're participating?
Yeah, pretty antsy. It's such a special event, I've been at Chaminade for going on 15 seasons right now and had the opportunity to play in this numerous times. And it's just something we cherish and we look forward to. So yes, all last year, even though it was, it's really unique to see the event from a fan's perspective, sorry. So didn't always get the chance to do that. So last year, just getting the chance to sit and watch 12 games and see how special this tournament really is. Normally we're preparing, and I don't get to watch a lot of the other teams play and so forth. And so yeah, we're antsy, we're ready to go. We're looking forward to it because we actually haven't played over in Maui since 2019. So not a player on my roster has even been over there, I know that they're really anxious.
Yeah, it's a great reminder because of the every other year and because of the tournament with COVID, and it was moved Asheville, Vegas, and then of course with the fires, the year it was in Honolulu. So yeah, that's a great point. It's been a while. So with that being said, what will it be like for you and your staff to be back in the Lahaina Civic Center?
Well, it'll be like a homecoming. It'll be homecoming. I remember one of my first games as a collegiate head coach. We played UCLA, 14 years ago. And I just remember it's that feeling of, man, it's so awesome to be part of it. Such a unique tournament. I can't wait for that feeling again. The last time we played 2019. Anthony Edwards hit a game winner on us, so we've kind of had that bad taste in our mouth for about 5 years now. So we're looking forward to hopefully getting a little revenge.
Well, to that point, a lot of times Chaminade is slated for the number one seed. And this is no disrespect to Washington State or anything like that, but that's not the case, in this event. How much do you feel like, hey, we got a legit shot, that this is a thing where we can maybe get a win, maybe two, who knows, compete for a championship and springboard us, into our season.
Well, I know how good Washington State is, even though, we all know they might not be a Kansas or, a North Carolina or Duke on a year-to-year basis, but they've had some really good teams in the past. When you got a guy like Clay Thompson that has come through your program, you're probably a pretty darn good program. So, I know they got a second-year head coach there, and yeah, it's definitely, much more doable than going up against the Gonzaga in their prime and so forth. But I know that there's still going to be a really, really good team. For us to have a chance against any of these teams, we have to play really smart basketball. We need some guys out there on the court to play probably their best games they've ever played in their life. And we've done it before. And our guys will give their best effort. I know that, but it should be a lot of fun.
For those that aren't familiar, scoring has never been a problem for you guys. You guys put points on the board. Um, Defensively, though, in a game like this or games over that 3-day period, what must your team do to be able to not just get in a fast track, 80, 90 point game and hope that you can prevail in that case?
All right, a couple things. Number one, we were analyzing all our statistics from last year, and we were at a negative 5.4 in rebound and margin, and that's not going to win games, especially against high-level Division I teams. You have got to force them in a low field goal percentage, and you have to rebound the basketball. I think we will score. it's something that we're known for. We led our conference in scoring. We're always one of the leaders in the nation, up there in the leaders in the nation in scoring. So, with the way we play, I feel like we're going to score the ball pretty well, but we also have to rebound like crazy. Hold those teams to one shot, one hopefully low percentage shot, and get the box out like crazy and get the rebound and run.
In this era where there's so many things coming at MTEs and scheduling and all that, I'm a purist. I love this event, love what it can do for teams, bonding, wins, you name it. From your perspective, you've been there 15 years. I know the campus is on Oahu, but what does this event do for Maui, for college basketball in the state, that you've seen over the last, decade plus?
Well, I can tell you that if I have a Chaminade shirt on and I'm walking anywhere in Hawaii, they bring up two things. They bring up the Maui Invitational, and they bring up the win over Virginia in 1982. And everybody I see, they want to talk about the Maui Invitational and their experiences and what it's meant to them, and some of the games they've been to or watched on TV. It's incredibly special for Hawaii. Not only does it gives an incredible exposure to especially Maui. Maui's such a beautiful, beautiful place, but we know that they've been through a rough time over the past few years, and hopefully, since it's not on the front page news of what happened anymore, there's still a lot of rebuilding and still a lot of hurting people over there. So hopefully it can continue to bring some exposure to what happened a few years ago. But yeah, we cherish this event. We prepare for it and we talk about it all year long. And so when it finally arrives, ESPN does an incredible job. Kemper Sports does an incredible job. So we want to maintain that number one. We feel like we have the best tournament, especially preseason tournament, early season tournament in college basketball. Nothing beats the March Madness, but besides that, I think we have the best, and we want to maintain that.
And lastly, Eric, for when we get to these games, every year there's a breakout or breakout players, in this event. You get this exposure, national television. Who should we be looking for on Chaminade's roster?
A few guys. I think we have an incredibly well-balanced team. I have a good core group of returners that, some 4 or 5 guys that started a lot of games for us, and we picked up a first-team all-conference player from, one of our conference rivals, in Nathan Medina. And we picked up a good transfer from University of Utah. So I think on any given night it could be anybody. But I think we're gonna surprise some people with the level of ability that our guys have.
Can't wait. Always one of my favorite 7 to 10 days of the year when I come out there. So appreciate you.
For sure.
See you soon.
Thanks, brother. Thanks.